Dictation will start after 5 seconds. Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I have been listening with rapt attention to the speeches that have been made, beginning with the effective intervention of the leader of opposition and all the other leaders. Sir, one thing is very clear that there is a very broad consensus in this House getting across party lines, rising above party politics, that something urgently needs to be done to actually grapple with the problem in the Kashmir Valley. There is also a great deal of sympathy for what is happening there. One thing is quite clear, sir, that since we last debated this in the House here on the 18th of July, the situation has deteriorated. We are hoping that within 8 or 10 days it would pass off. But what has happened is more and more people have died. The death toll has increased and many people have been blinded apparently and thousands have been injured. Let me start by saying that I agree with my friends here that those pellet guns have got to be banned. Just stop those pellet guns. They have become a symbol of an extremely negative situation. Some alternative must be found. Honorable Home Minister, the committee may take another month before you get the committee's report. But surely before that you can take some initiatives and just stop those guns because they are really creating terrible turmoil and young people particularly who may not be even actually involved are also getting caught. Now, what has happened in these 32 days of curfew? There has been a breakdown of civil administration. Essential services have broken down, the medical systems have broken down, educational systems have broken down, the schools and colleges are all closed, and there is a massive humanitarian problem. I think before we get onto the politics, let us understand the dimensions of the humanitarian problem that faces us in Jammu and Kashmir, and he is right, it is there not from now but for the last 25 years ever since this insurgency began. Tens of thousands of people have lost their lives. This has happened, sir, because of this unfortunate resort to militancy and also because of certain mistakes made by this side also. Now it is essential, sir, that law and order must be restored. You must have a proper civil administration there. I understand even the secretariats are not functioning properly. People's lives are being disrupted, and this is the basic responsibility of the state government because law and order is a state subject. The Government of India can and must help whenever necessary, but basically the state government has got to be more active and more effective in running the administration, and that unfortunately has not happened. In the last 30 days, the state government has not come out with any particular initiative or any particular action And the impression is going around that the government virtually is disappearing or is not active. That is a very wrong impression to have because once the society starts unraveling, then you never know where it would stop. Sir, the last time I spoke from the heart, today I want to speak from both my heart and my head. With your permission, sir, I want to place before this honorable house some factors which may not be fully known and may be a little uncomfortable, but whatever I say would be based upon facts. The first thing is we have to introspect. Why is it that thousands and thousands of young people have embarked on a path that can only bring death and destruction to themselves and their loved ones? Why is this happening? Why is it that this has spread not only to the towns where it used to be concentrated but also to the rural areas? Why is it that boys barely into their teens are coming out of their houses and facing these firings? What has happened? We know that they are motivated. We know where they are being motivated from. We know that these Facebook and internet campaigns are going on. We know to some extent where finances come from. We know where arms come from. We know all of that, but that has been happening for many years. Why has now the situation suddenly blown sky high? I think we have got to introspect very carefully and see what it is because apart from fighting the fire and that is raging now, please remember Jammu and Kashmir is an extremely complex and complicated affair. There is no magic bullet that will solve it overnight. Everybody wants a solution. I have been involved in it ever since it started before partition, and I know that there is no simple solution. But that does not mean that we can sit back and say we have got to put our heads together and see what sort of consensus we gather. Now, let me take up two, three things. First of all, we insist Jammu and Kashmir is an internal affair. Sir, I would close by saying that this is not only a Kashmiri tragedy, it is a national tragedy. It seemed as if everything was going fine, and then suddenly on 10th August, that event happened and the whole situation is deteriorated. We cannot allow it to deteriorate further. We have got to stop the deterioration. We have got to get together and we must get out of the negative spiral in this entire thing. I agree, sir. Economic development is very important. There is no doubt about it. The Prime Minister talks about development, and as has been mentioned, hospitals have been set up, IITs, IIMs, and central universities are set up, and these are very welcome. Employment, tourism, handicrafts, etc. So much can be done in the valley, but it is not only an economic problem, it is a political problem also, and this has got to be accepted. Please remember that if you look upon it only as an economic problem and you just give packages and so many thousand crores of rupees, that is not going to solve the problem. It is a complex political problem, and today we are facing a situation where there is a widespread alienation among the people of the valley. The leader of opposition has said, and everybody also said, that we are prepared to cooperate, but then something concrete needs to be done this time.